I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is
The Family Showdown!
Howdy folks, welcome to my top 100 games of all time. I'm Hunter, this is Rebecca. I'm going to present my 191, but before we jump in, you might want to go back and look at the intro video. Because and put the chat up, because the chat was not nice to me. So I need positive vibes in the comments. Top 100. It's official. This is the official. This is the official.
Do you have like a seal official? Kind of like, you know. Yeah. Just...
I don't. No, probably not.
Oh. Bummer. Special effects man's fired.
As always, I always do a sneak peek. Let's do a sneak peek. We got half of the games. Half of these 10 games are new to the list.
Okay, but it's 190. Okay.
Is that right?
Okay.
Am I looking at this right?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the
half of the games are new games.
Okay.
Half of the games, coincidentally enough, are not new.
Really? You don't say.
Let's kick it right away with a new game. It's not new. It's new to us. It's not a new game. It's been around for a while. CO2 Second Chance.
Excuse me. I have questions, sir.
What?
This is my number 51. Why is this so low?
Semi-cooperative.
But only in one variant.
No, I'll explain things.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Let me explain. So
I see.
CO2 is
carbon dioxide.
Probably originally designed to be a cooperative game. So basically, you're different energy companies, and you're trying to go around and build power plants around the world, and hold conferences and all sorts of fun stuff. But you're playing against the game, so the game is very mean and brutal. The carbon emissions are out of control. You're trying to rein them in before you reach a certain level. If you reach a certain level, the game wins, and you lose, and that's a normal game. But there is a competitive mode, which we prefer. I prefer.
I think I actually like it better too.
There's a competitive mode,
believe it or not,
but it's kind of semi-cooperative because we kind of say, "Hey, I'm going to do my own thing. I don't care about the world. I'm just going to maximize my victory points." And Rebecca over here does the same thing. The game's going to kill us all. So you're still competing against the game, but if you survive the game, if the game doesn't defeat you, then someone is the winner of the game. So either the game wins or someone wins. In the cooperative version, either the game wins or everyone else wins. That's garbage. There needs to be a winner. So this is a Vital Lacerda game, super complex, lots of rules, lots of things going on. So this is the Stronghold Games version, Second Chance. Stronghold kind of gets a bad rap of having kind of lower production values overall. This one is a great production value. Lots of wooden bits. It looks amazing on the table. I know there's even a newer version of this, I think.
Really?
Maybe. Maybe I'm crazy. But anyway, we enjoy our little Stronghold Games version. It's great if you're looking for maybe a different kind of Lacerda game. Because this maybe, I think, is the only one that's got any cooperative elements of the ones I've played. So if you're looking for something a little different, this might be one you want to check out.
It's a good one. I like this one. I understand why you put it so low now, because 100 know how to cooperate.
I consider, even though there's an ultimate winner, I consider it semi-cooperative because you're still playing against the game.
Well, yeah, because you can't completely be like, too bad, so sad.
Yeah, you really almost have to negotiate. Like, okay, I'll do this over here if you do that over there, to kind of work against the game, and then we kind of do our own thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you
kind of got to meet a middle ground somewhere.
Yep. And, it's true.
There you have it.
So yeah, makes sense. It's a great game though. It's one of my favorite Lacerdas.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to another new game. Another one Rebecca likes more than me. But I still love it. It is, again, we're late to the party for this one too. That is Last Will.
Oh no.
Man,
you are just, oh no. This is your 99?
99.
This was my 71.
It's close. It's a ballpark. It's not like it's a top 10 game or something. So way back in the day, way back in the day.
Wait.
We used to hang out at this place called Dallas Games Marathon.
Oh man.
And we played a game called Prodigals.
The Prodigals Club.
Prodigals Club?
Prodigals?
Yeah, we played that game. And that one, I think, is you're trying to lose your friends, or I don't remember, not people who not like you or something. I don't remember what the meaning of that was. But this one is kind of very similar, but slightly different theme. This one, you are trying to lose all your money. So you have this rich benefactor who wants to leave his inheritance to someone, but he was very, frugal. Didn't spend a lot of money.
Miserly, as it were.
Miserly. I like frugal better, but miserly works. And he felt bad that he didn't get to enjoy his money. So basically, he's given some money to all his heirs and say, okay, you need to go out and like waste all this money and have a good time and go crazy. And whoever wastes their money and uses it the fastest gets his inheritance. So it's kind of Brewster's Millions. I guess that's kind of the same plot to that movie. But this one's fun. I like it. It's got worker placement. It's got kind of an engine building, all sorts of fun stuff. You even have you can buy a house and sell it for a low value, or you can keep it and let it depreciate and become crappy and then sell it later. There's all sorts of crazy stuff.
There's a lot of fun stuff.
Ways to lose money. When you go to a party, you can just go to the party, but you can invite a guest. You can bring a dog. You can take a stagecoach. You can hire a special chef. So you're trying to throw everything you can and to spend as much money as you can to do these different activities. So this is a blast. It plays quick. For us, it's like a 45-minute, hour game. Good one. I really
enjoyed it. It's so much fun, and it's so silly. I love the theme. It's just ridiculous because you always wanted to have that chance, that one time to be like, spend money everywhere, right. And you get to do that in this, and
I completely forgot this one was on my radar, and it kind of dropped off, and then it recently hit a bunch of top 10 lists randomly.
Really?
So I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that game. And I did some research on it. I'm like, oh, well, maybe we'll try it out. And we actually both really liked it. So it hit both of our lists this year. Yep. But again, it's an older game. It's like 4 years old, maybe.
Oh my gosh, that's practically a dinosaur.
Ancient.
My goodness.
I can't find the date, but it's 3 or 4 years old. So.
Yeah, I can look at it.
Nah, it's not there. Doesn't exist. It's not on there.
You say this. Yeah.
Give me this.
Czech Republic. Oh, now you want to look, huh?
No.
Fun. I was going to look at the rule book.
So let's keep the new game love. 3 in a row. 3 in a row, and this is gonna make some people cry. This is gonna make some people cry. Because this one entered the board game scene with a bang, and this is like a lot of people's favorite new hotness.
Okay.
But for me, it's just kind of really good.
Oh gosh.
Really good, but not like way up the list. And that is The Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Hey, you said it right. Usually you say runes.
Runes.
And I'm like, there are no runes. It's ruins.
The Lost Ruins of Arnak. I like this game quite a bit.
Not as much as me, apparently.
No, not as much as you. All 3 of these you like better than
I know. This was my 66.
Yeah. So when I first played it, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then it's kind of cooled a little bit. So you would have caught me on the first couple of plays, I probably would have made it higher on my list, but I've played this one a number of times. I played it on Board Game Arena, tried it with different people. It's good. It's great. It's an amazing game. It hit my top 100. It's got to be great.
Yeah, it's fun.
There's another game that uses the deck building worker placement thing.
Oh dear, you've been replaced, Arnak.
That I enjoy more, but we'll get there. But I love this game. It's kind of going up tracks, one of those Euro games where you're going up tracks, but the driver of this is it's deck building that drives the worker placement, which drives these going up the tracks to get crazy victory points.
So much fun.
It's a great game,
great blend. But no buts.
We played it several times, and I seem to kind of veer towards what I notice is sometimes in these games I pick one strategy and I kind of keep doing it.
Yeah.
And I have to force myself don't do that.
Try something different.
Mm-hmm. But I've gotten to where I kind of do the same thing. I like fighting the monsters. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah, you do.
So I got going out exploring and fighting monsters, and that's really may not be the best path to victory. But I enjoy it the most because I defeat the monsters.
You do pretty darn well with it. I'd say that's not.
Defeating the monsters is fun to me. So basically, you're going out worker placement spots. You have basic worker placement spots, and you have stuff you do explore. You go out and explore and create new worker placement spots, but there's a guardian thing that's like defending it. So if you go there and the guardian isn't defeated, you get like a minus
Lara Croft on it.
A minus thing. But you can go out and fight them. You go beat them up, and you get like rewards for doing that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So that's my favorite part. Going up the tracks is like, who cares? But that's where all the points are.
Although, in defense of the tracks, because you do like tracks, also. This one's kind of fun in the way that it ramps up because you start and you're like, how in the world?
Yeah, the first time we played, we're like,
this track. It's
garbage.
Crazy. And then you start to snowball all of your resources. Well, hopefully, assuming you're playing correctly.
Right.
You don't totally flop on that. But it just starts to ramp up. And by the end, you're like, just running up that track. And it's amazing. It's really fun to see that.
Yeah, we literally, after the first like 2 rounds of the first game, we're like, there's no way anyone will ever get up to that top of that track. And by the end, we were up at the top of the track. So it was fun. This is a good one. Another one that plays really quick. It's an hour. For us, it's about an hour-ish game as well.
It says 30 minutes of players. That sounds about right anyway.
Yeah, about an hour game for 2 players. But I love it. It's a good one. It jumped right onto my list. Like I said, it might have been higher if I played it less. If that makes any sense. It's weird. That's the way my brain works.
He's saying he's a snob and he punishes repeat games.
I like new
the new and fresh. So you're like, next year it's off the list. I've played it too much. Is that what I'm hearing?
Possibly, but
that's insane.
There is an expansion coming out called Leaders or something like the Expedition Leaders or something. I don't know what it's called. Lederhosen. And you get superpowers. I love superpowers in games. So
you may be back in it, baby.
It'll be back next year. I don't know. We'll see.
This will be exciting. Now I'm curious. But I thought you were kind of cooling to the whole expansions thing. What makes you think that this one will be like all that and
Because I like expansions that really don't change the base game that much.
Gotcha.
And this one's kind of like you got a special ability kind of thing. I know there's other stuff in the expansion, but for what I'm looking forward to,
it's going to do that.
I think is that Rebecca does something that I don't do, right?
Yeah,
basically. But in the regular game, you differentiate yourself by the cards you're acquiring in your deck.
Yeah.
But this one you start out with some kind of power.
You change your starting powers and stuff, like a lot of games do. That would be kind of fun with that, I think.
As far as I know, I could be completely wrong about that.
And if he's wrong, well then.
All right, let's move on to another one of Rebecca's favorites. I know she loves this a lot more than me. A lot more than me. She thought she was complaining about the ones I just did. This is one of her babies. My number 97. It was 78 last time. So it's went down a little bit, but basically the same area-ish. That is Awkward.
Dude.
This isn't my kind of game. To be on my list, shows you how amazing this game is.
It's my 22. This is a really good game. He has problems. We need to have an intervention.
Here's the scoop.
Okay, give me the scoop.
So this is a deduction game.
The 90.
And if it was just a straight deduction game, it would not even sniff my list. It would be like, it wouldn't even be on the top 300 and stuff.
It's like a list, I suppose.
But it has trading and negotiation
in the
aspects.
Mediterranean?
No. And what is this? In some mansion. I don't know. The Walton Mansion. There you go. Trading in the Walton Mansion. Basically, it's basically Game or Clue. So it's imagine a more complex version of Clue. But in Clue, there's a lot of, you just go to a spot and you say, hey, do you have these cards or whatever? And they show them to you and whatever.
Yeah.
This one's similar in that aspect. There's cards, but it's more kind of indirect information. Like this person saw these 2 people over in this one room, or the murderer may have walked through this other room over here. And it's very kind of piece it together. It's not obvious. Like it's not the lead pipe. I mean, it's not that obvious. Or there's some clues that are that.
Or is it?
But when you're doing that trading phase where you kind of would include, you would just say, give me a card or whatever.
Yeah.
This one is like, okay, I've got 4 points worth of cards that I'm willing to let you see if you show me 4 points worth of cards. And so there's this whole negotiation thing around the table of trying to get the trading. So that part of it, which I love this open negotiation games. You'll see several more on my list of open negotiation type games. Love that part of the game. And that's why it moves it up. It kind of props up this this deduction game with this negotiation piece that I love.
It is. It's so much fun just adding that extra element in it because you're trading, potentially really good, solid information, right? Like lab results from the, the police report and stuff, or it's, well, the maid heard a rumor that blah blah blah, and you're like,
they could have wrote this game in such a way as pass 4 points worth of cards to your left.
Yeah,
but instead it makes
you're wheeling and dealing, right?
And there's an extra layer that's kind of under that is, I know Rebecca. I gave Rebecca cards earlier.
Yes, you do all the time.
So I go, okay, I'll trade 4 points of cards. Who wants to trade? And Rebecca goes, I'll trade with you. I'm like, nope. I gave you cards. You're gonna give them back to me.
No, what you like to do instead, because you're like, she has the memory of a goldfish these days. So he's like, sure, okay. And then he gives me the same blasted points of cards that he might have given me
It's funny.
Otherwise earlier on, because I have something that overlaps informationally, so he can get away with it. And I'm like, here I am looking at this going, wait a minute. And then Hunter's over here with his cards.
Yeah. So
this game's amazing.
So this game would probably be higher, honestly, if the 2-player wasn't so wonky.
Yeah, it's a little.
You're kind of trading with a deck of cards kind of thing. Like,
but it still
sometimes
works.
you discard cards, sometimes you trade cards and things like that. I think this one plays better with more players.
It's more fun that way anyway.
It's a more the merrier type of game.
Yes,
so we've played this with as much as 5, I want to say. 5? I think we played it 5 players. It worked amazing.
So. It was awesome.
So we haven't played it. It looks like it goes up to 8. I think 5's the most we played.
5 or 6.
We played 2 and 4, and I think we played 3, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We played all those counts, and 2 was the only one that I kind of. But almost any trading game is kind of wonky with 2 players. So
that's true.
It's a good one.
This is what I always wanted Clue to be.
Yes.
Good game. Such a great game.
All right.
So cool.
Let's move on to my number 96.
I'm scared now.
This one. No, you don't like this one. This is finally one that you don't like as much as me, I don't think. This one, because you hate the art. This one it was hovering around the 60s for years, and then it took a drop this year.
Hold up.
Just because we haven't played this one in a long time.
I know what this is.
What is it?
Yokohama.
Yokohama.
I always gripe about the art.
How about it's Yokohama?
Even better.
Anyway. Yokohama, I love this. I love this game. It's taking a little bit of a dip just because it doesn't get to the table because she thinks it looks like trash.
I love the game though. I've come back.
What number is it for you?
106.
Yeah. Oh, that's not bad. We're in the same general area.
Yeah.
But anyway, this one's a solid midweight Euro game. If you like Istanbul and you want a little more oomph to your game, this will be a next step game. That's what the kids call it, right? The next step. So if you like Istanbul, you're looking for a little more meat to your game, Yokohama is the way to go. This has got contracts, but the main thing is you have all these locations that you build like a little location map thingy. Mm-hmm. And you're going around to the different locations. You have to leave kind of a trail of assistance that you're following around to go to different locations.
How about you?
You build trading posts. The more stuff you have in a location, the more powerful that action is for you. You're doing contracts. You're doing all sorts of fun stuff. Really great midweight Euro game. I want to say this is a 90-minute.
Oh, at least.
Is it?
Yep, 90 minutes. Look at you.
Yeah, so 90-minute game. 9-minute.
And it feels like it'd be longer.
I would call this a midweight. This is a heavier.
It's a heavy game.
It's a heavier Euro game. We got the regular deluxe version. There's a deluxe version that's off the charts, but it's not available anymore. But this is the regular version. I think looks just fine.
I mean,
I like it. It's a great one. It just hasn't hit the table in a while. I think that's why it's kind of creeping down.
I think it needs to hit the table again soon.
So those, if you watch my intro, things that kind of got punished, things that we haven't played in a long time got punished, and things that I look at and I go, I don't have this like crazy urge to play this game. That's kind of what got punished. This one's kind of a combination of both. It hadn't hit the table in a while, and we haven't really been looking to play it. So it's kind of trickling down the list, but it is a solid.
Oh, it's an amazing game.
I guess heavy Euro game. I got to get off my midweight Euro game. This is a heavy Euro game.
It's funny because you tease me about the whole art thing, and I mean I really did
love
like
the art. The art is amazing.
Okay, you're weirdo. But anyway, that's fine. But the mechanisms and everything, the game plays so well that I've gotten to the point where I just ignore the art, which, is kind of like a major hang up I have with a lot of games. I'm like, oh, if I have to stare at this for 90 minutes, it better be cool.
Yeah.
But the game is so smooth to play. And as you may or may not find important, I find it really important that, especially the heavier it gets, the smoother it needs to be of a game. Because if you've got a bunch of janky rules and weird things and hang-ups and got to remember this and that, I'm not going to want to play that again. I will play this again gladly. It's so smooth. Really good game, despite its mediocre art.
I like it. It's a good one. It hasn't, like I said, it hasn't hit the table for a while, but apparently we need to play it. I didn't realize you liked it as much. It's been creeping. Apparently it's been moving up your list. What was it the year before?
111.
Okay. There you go. Yep. So we both like this one. Good one. Good one. Yokohama.
The year before that, I think it was significantly lower.
Yokohama.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared. I feel like I should be scared. I don't know why.
All right, let's move on to my number 95. It's new to the list.
Oh.
Let me do a quick. I'm gonna do a quick.
Is it new to me?
I'm gonna do a quick look. See. Give me a second. Bear with me. I know it's dead air, but bear with me. I should have done some research before.
I can tell a joke.
2.
I can't. I actually can't tell jokes to save my life. It's terrible. So much for that. Enjoy your dead air. It's probably more amusing.
All right, I'm gonna. Quick math says it's one of the few games.
That sounded so precise.
I think it's 3, but I don't want to say 3. But I said 3. I think it's one of the few games on my list that I do not own. And that's because I play this game on a online site. I don't need to buy it because it has such an awesome site. It's the 18XX site.
Oh,
this is 18MS.
Yeah, I haven't played this one yet. Okay.
And if for those people who like subtitles, the rails come to Mississippi.
Okay, good, because I was afraid it might be multiple sclerosis, and that made me sad.
18MS, the rails come to Mississippi.
Mississippi.
So this one,
good to know.
You remember the way back time of just a little while ago? I mean, like a few months ago, maybe a year ago. I used to say the 18 Chesapeake is the definitive intro game to 18XX.
Okay.
Well, you heard it here first. Probably not first. You heard it here. 18MS is the new best,
shiny.
The best introduction
I have to play this with you guys now.
18XX.
All right.
You would think it'd be way up my list, but it is a very abrupt 18XX game. I mean, it rockets you through 18XX.
Really?
This game it plays well at all player counts, from what I can see. It plays 2 to 4 players.
Okay.
You can get a 2-player game done, not including rules, teach, and setup, and all that good stuff. Hour and a half. An 18XX game in an hour and a half.
Guys, that's really short.
We played a 4-player game.
But it felt like an 18XX game. It was
we played a 4-player game, and it took about 2.5 hours for 4 players. For 4 players.
Wow!
This game rockets you through 18XX.
So you can actually get in another game that day, is what I'm hearing.
The game is designed in such a way that it pushes the game along. So if you've ever played... even if you haven't, I'll kind of explain it. In 18XX, there's times where you can kind of keep the game from progressing to the next phase. People, basically, as you buy trains in the game, it progresses the game to the next phases of the game.
Yeah.
There's times where you can just kind of have a stalemate where people aren't buying trains and the game kind of stays in the same phase for a long time. This game doesn't have that. It just pushes the game. If people aren't buying trains just start getting discarded. It's like
trains are flying everywhere.
Throw away trains. It pushes the game at a set pace. You really can't make it go super long like in a lot of games.
And that doesn't offset the balance or anything like that, because
there's the thing. It is so quick that you get the full experience. You're buying companies, you're putting trains, you're doing rails, you're doing all this stuff. But it's so fast that it's done before you know it. If you play it, it's really super fast. I enjoy it quite a bit because I can get an 18XX game in a couple hours.
Yeah, I
enjoy that part of it. But there's not this big build-up arc that you have in a lot of 18XX games where you're building rails and you're building, you're doing these longer routes and things. This is like, whoop, it's done.
Wow.
So I wouldn't say it's definitely not the best 18xx experience, but it's a great introduction, great first
Teach you the
experience.
system.
And it's if
Okay.
you just want to knock a game out really quick, it's great for that as well.
And you like it better than Chesapeake.
No, I do not say that. I said it's faster than Chesapeake.
Oh, okay,
And it's a
okay.
better introduction than Chesapeake.
Okay, that's where I wanted to ask. Okay, so it's a better introduction.
But
than
is it
Chesapeake.
better than Chesapeake?
Well, I think you already answered
I
that.
did kind of answer that. Well, Chesapeake was my, number 3, 4 last year?
Was it really? Goodness. I don't have your...
Number 4 last year. So, yeah, I think I probably like Chesapeake a little bit better. But anyway.
Or does he?
I really love this game. And again, this is the one I'm going to recommend to people if they want to try it
Okay.
out, because you can basically, the game is so quick that you could play a game of it, learn how it works, kind of get the experience, and then go, okay, let's rack it up again.
Yeah,
And now that I know what I'm doing, let's play again.
Yeah.
If you're playing a full bore 4 or 5 hour game, there's no chance that's ever going to happen.
No.
But with this, it's actually feasible to do that.
That's cool.
So,
That's really cool.
and it's 18xx.game, I think is the website. You can go out and try it online for freezies. Free.
They are awesome. Those developers are awesome.
I don't own it, so that's why I didn't show you.
Cool.
But there'll be a little picture over here, somewhere right here. All right, let's move on to my mess my list up.
That's really interesting. I'm interested in playing that now.
Well, there you go. See, sold American. Let's move on to another new game. This is another one of Rebecca's faves. Last new game for this time around. My number 94. The Search for Planet X.
Dude, this is my 15. 15.
I'm not. Like I said with Awkward Guests a few things ago, 97. Deduction games are not social deduction. I love straight deduction games.
What if you pretended that Mysterious Planet X was...
No.
No.
Deduction's not my thing, but this one and Awkward Guests both make my list because they're so good. I mean, I really enjoy it. It's funny that I don't like deduction games, but I do like, back in school when you said like, if Amy's older than Fred, but Fred's younger than Joe, and Joe's half the age of Sam, and Sam's twice the age of Rebecca, how old is Joe? And you're like, who's Tom? I used to love those logic puzzles.
You're crazy.
So
okay,
this is that logic puzzle built into a game. Basically, it says this planet, dwarf planets have to be within 4 spaces of each other, and comets are opposite asteroids, and you get all these clues, and eventually you narrow down, and you find out where Planet X is.
so fun.
And even if you find Planet X, you're not necessarily going to win the game. You have you're going to get a lot of points, but you can still win the game by finding all the other stuff and doing cool things as you go as you go by. So it's kind of got a victory mechanism. It's not all in. Like Awkward Guess, it's like whoever finds the murderer, it's over, you win.
That's true.
This one has actually a victory points kind of scoring system that even the person that finds it may not win. They're probably more likely to win, but they may not win. So I like it. I like those logic puzzle games. It's a deduction game, but it's more of a logic puzzle.
I find it interesting that both of those ended up in the same 10 bracket.
Because in my head, they're kind of the same area. And I'm almost surprised they didn't end up
next to each other.
Right next to each other. But yeah, it's a same way with Awkward Guess. It's a logic puzzle. If the murderer walked through the bedroom and it had to have this kind of weapon and blah blah, you're just kind of narrowing it down until you get the one person. Same way here, but you're doing stuff as you go along. You hold conferences and you do guesses and you release research information, and so there's ways to score points as you go. It's not all or nothing at the end.
Yeah.
There's a kind of a beginner or standard game, and then there's an expert game. And you can do various levels within those two things. So I think you end up with 6 levels of games you can play. So I tried this solo. Yeah. Stop the presses. I found this. I played the solo because Rebecca was. We were at where were we at Beaver's Bend, and you weren't. Where's the Beaver's Bend? Somewhere. I don't remember where it was, but anyway, she wasn't filling up to playing a game, and I'm like, I'm playing a game.
I can't imagine it was Beaver's.
So I played Planet X, and I thought, I'm good at this game. I'm gonna play it on expert. And the AI said, no, you're not an expert.
Wow, so it's pretty tough.
So
huh?
then I played it on beginner, and I went, yeah, I'm an expert.
How about in between? Have you played it in between?
I haven't played the in between.
then?
I just played the max level and the basic level. I got annihilated by the max level, and I annihilated the basic level. So I need to find a happy middle somewhere. But I actually enjoyed it playing it solo. It works great as a solo game.
I'm psyched about that.
Worked
That's
really
cool.
well as a solo game. I don't like solo games. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't have it. I was like, get up! I want to play a game. But no, I was nice. I let her sleep.
Oh, look at
and
you!
I played.
You played
this.
a nice solo game.
And so.
Oh,
I enjoy this one. It's great if you're looking for a logic puzzle with a kind of a space theme, mostly pasted on the space theme on top of it. This is a good one. Really like it.
very cool.
She likes it a lot more than I do.
I do.
All right.
But I think you spoke quite highly of it.
All right, that's the last of the new games. Let's move on to some oldies.
Oh, you're gonna bash some of my good games that I enjoy that are older now. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think you like this one more than me too. I think you might like all these, but one more than me, in fact.
This is sad.
So this one was my 76 last year, so kind of holding in the same ballpark, 93, 76. Really, if you think about it, if 28 games, there's 28 new games on my list. Well, 27 new games and one that came back on my list. So that means everything had to push down 28 levels. This one didn't go down 28 levels, so it's kind of improved.
Huh. That's kind of like when you say that you got this item on sale. Look at how much money I saved. It's like, but you still bought.
Anyway, my number 93 is a Glenmore 2 Chronicles.
Oh, I do like that one. I do like that one.
Glenmore 2 Chronicles.
Wow, apparently I like it a lot more than you because I have it at my 57.
Yeah, I knew you like this one more.
I like the mechanism in this a lot of the leapfroggy.
Yeah, so this one is another heavy Euro game. Plays in 90 minutes, maybe. Where's the time? 90 to 120, so 90 for two players probably.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
It's kind of a tile placement-ish game. So you're drafting these tiles. It's like a cool kind of, almost a rondelle kind of maybe, where you move forward and you take a tile, and then people that are behind you can pick up more tiles, and basically whoever's in back
is the one that moves.
Gets to go, kind of thing. With two players, it's tricked up a little bit. But that's kind of the gist of it. You're drafting these tiles. You put them in kind of a tableau. You're building kind of this world and how the tiles interact with each other. And you have to have little worker dudes on the tiles. And you're moving workers. Some tiles let you move workers around and set up your little engine here. So it's kind of an engine building. Really enjoy how the tile drafting works in this game.
Yeah.
This one, the Glenmore 2 Chronicles, comes with Chronicles. So it comes with 10 expansions. We only played a handful of them.
Yeah.
Because we like the base game so much. But we've
started.
We've started, and we put a little note sheet in here saying.
Oh, there it is.
We've played the first two.
Only the first two.
Only the first two. Basically, we're going here and we're writing down what we think of each one, and we're going to work our way through all of them eventually. But we usually just play the base game because we enjoy the base game so much. But this one says Chronicle 1, good, but swingy. And number 2, good. So we haven't got a great yet. So kind of the reason why we keep playing the base game. But every once in a while we mix in a Chronicle and try it out.
It's been fun.
Eventually we'll work through all of them. I think, what did it say, was 8?
Yes, 8.
8 different Chronicles that come with it. So basically 8 little mini expansions you can mix into the game if you buy this version of Glenmore 2.
I like that. I like trying the new ones, and it's fun. Again, it's really good to leave notes to yourself or something too, so you don't have to try to remember what's going on.
Yeah.
But
it's a good one.
Nice variety.
It's a lot of these games that are kind of towards the bottom of my 100. I'll get a lot of their oomph from Rebecca enjoying them so much because I kind of what's the word? Empathic. Is empathic the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feed off when people enjoy games.
Yeah, you do.
I enjoy them too. If people are not enjoying games, then I tend to not to enjoy them as much.
Yeah.
So if some of her favorites make my list just because how much she enjoys them. It's like when I go up to someone when they want to play, I'm like, "What's your favorite game?" Because I know they're gonna have a great time because they're gonna have a great time, right?
Yep.
Glenmore 2.
Good pick. Good pick.
There you go.
I approve this message.
This includes 8 Chronicles right here on the back.
Hey, look at that. Nice big letters. Someone should put up a sign.
All right.
So what else are you going to do to break my heart this evening?
This one might do it. This is one of your faves, too.
What's left?
I think you've cooled on this one a little bit. My number 92, it's been on my list for how many years? This is the 6th year it's been on my list. So it's one of the ones we played way back in the day, 2016. It's been 50, 38, 43, 66. Last year was 59, and it drops all the way down to 92. This is another one that hasn't hit the table in a while, and that is Istanbul.
So what I'm hearing here is that the games with the trail mechanisms of moving and stuff you're hating on, because Yokohama and Istanbul. Yeah. This is.
I hate trails. I like boats. So Istanbul, this one lands. It's funny you mentioned that, 'cause that was going to be you stole my thunder.
Sorry.
So basically, this one and Yokohama are kind of merging in my head at about the same level because they have some very similar mechanisms.
Yeah, I can see that.
So in Istanbul, you have the same thing. You have all these different locations. You make a little grid pattern of them, and you're going around and doing the different locations. But you have this kind of a trail of assistance that kind of in Yokohama you kind of build paths, but this one is kind of like a chain. Like you can't go, you only go so far, and your assistants kind of lock you in place, and you have to eventually collect them or go back and pick them up, that sort of thing. But this one's just kind of a race to collect a certain number of gems based on the number of players. You have to get like 7, 8, 9 gems, and there's tons of different ways to get gems.
Yeah,
you can go gamble and buy them. You can trade goods. You can do delivery. You do all sorts of things. We, in this little tiny box, is all the expansions for Istanbul. We play the Grand Bazaar method where we include everything. And it is
so much fun.
Awesome. It is so awesome.
Bit of a setup, but totally worth it.
It's not.
But it's not that bad. I mean, it's in the scheme of some of these other crazy things.
It has some rules on how you, what tiles can't be adjacent to each other and things like that. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. We love it. I think every time we go back to it, we have no interest to play the base game anymore. We always play the Grand Bazaar.
So much fun.
Thing, and it's I think
got extra resources you keep track of.
Coffee and other stuff, and you got posts. They're doing deliveries with letters and all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things in it.
It definitely gives you more options on how to collect those gems.
NPC too, isn't there a little dude that walks around? Another one.
There's a governor, and then there's another dude. I can't remember.
It's been too long, but yeah, there's all sorts of fun stuff in this one.
This one's a good one.
That's a great one. It's my number 29, good sir. But I guess what is fun about this one and why I think the replayability is probably higher than what you're saying it is, you can mix up the tiles and have a completely different setup every single game.
I didn't say there's no replayability. We're not saying no replayability.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out why you're dogging on my game.
I just say we haven't played it in a long time. It's one we haven't got to the table in a while.
It's samey.
I didn't say it was samey.
No, he didn't.
I didn't say
Not yet. He was thinking it.
I did not say that. It's anything but samey because I think there's 50 tiles in the Grand Bazaar.
So think about that.
Some insane number of tiles.
Yeah.
It might not be 50, but it's a lot of tiles.
That's a lot.
It's a good one. The base game itself is amazing, so you don't necessarily have to go crazy and get everything for it.
No, it's a lot of fun.
But
it's just if you play it a lot,
we love the full Monte, as they say. All right.
I think that's only you that say that, but yes.
We're not a movie. Anyway, Istanbul, great game. My number 92. Oh, I'm worried about. Let's see if you guys can hear these games that are about to fall. I don't know. All right, let's move on to my last one for this time around.
That was anticlimactic.
My last one, my number 91.
Oh.
This guy is like hanging on. This has been on my list for 6 years as well.
Okay.
Started out way up at my number 18 and slowly creeping down my list. It's because we haven't played this one in a minute, as the kids say. It's been a while since we played this one. But this one is the Euro game. And that is a village.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Village, as Rebecca calls it. Village. Another, I want to say 90 minute. This one says 60, so less than 90 minute. This one's kind of a cube pusher-ish. It's got some tricked up mechanisms. So the gimmick in this game, you got to have a good gimmick to get on my list.
Heck yeah.
The gimmick on this game is that it's a worker placement game, but your workers grow old and die. So you have different generations of workers that you're going to have. You're going to go through.
You said that.
You're going to go through, and some spots on the board will just you put a dude there and he does something and then you get him back. Some spots on the board you put a dude there and he stays there until potentially the end of the game. The problem is,
if he lives
each action you take takes a certain amount of time. And there's like this little Grim Reaper dude that's going around your board. And every time he crosses a little bridge at the top of your board, you have to kill one of your workers, one of your oldest workers. So the thing is, the trick is, okay, maybe I'll put a worker on this spot that lasts until the end game, but is he going to live long enough to get there? So you kind of got to go, okay, is this guy going to live long enough to do that? Maybe I'll put this worker over here, but I'll put this like 3rd generation guy at the spot because he's probably not going to die by the end of the game.
He's young and spry.
So you're basically collecting these resources. You're doing all these different tasks. You're like going to weddings. You're traveling. You're going to the market. You're getting crops. You're building plows. You're all sorts of fun stuff. All sorts of Euro-y things. But it's all driven by cubes, and you take these cubes. Basically, some spots you acquire cubes when you go there, and other spots you spin cubes to go to them. So it's kind of a cube pusher-esque with all this worker placement aging thing going on the side. We have 2 expansions to the game. One's, I think, Inn and Port are the 2 expansions, if I remember correctly. Both great expansions. They make a couple of the spots that aren't as cool a little more robust, and improve. In my opinion, improves the game. So we have kind of everything, and when we play with everything.
Everything. Yep.
This one's just a solid game. It's sticking around on my list. Eventually, it may slide off someday, but. It's just one I really enjoy when I play it. It's got so many great choices of things to do. Love it.
Yeah, it's a good game. And it's funny because you're right, it's dropped off my list significantly, but it's not because it's a bad game or I'm tired of it. I think it's just I've got other games that have replaced it like in that really super hyped up level. Yeah. But I would never turn down a play of this. It's a really fun game. It's really good. I love the way the cubes work in this because like you said, sometimes it's like you're taking them, sometimes you're giving them. There's like this trade stuff going on. Meanwhile, you've got to keep track of your people and the aging, and that's so different than a lot of other games that you
just have 6 workers and you use them the whole game.
And you're done, right? Or you only have 3 and you have to build up to get some. Well, these, it's harder than that because you have to use them.
You start with a few, you acquire more, and then the older ones eventually
they're going to fade away. So you need to plan, okay, well, I don't want to put that guy like in the church because they have to be there all the way through the end of the game. You probably don't want to put a 1st-gen person there. They're going to die.
Right. They're not going to survive the end of the game.
Unless you just wanted some cheap, really quick, immediate benefit from it that's really not worth it. You want to do something else with them. So it's cool. It's a good balance.
She didn't like this one.
I do.
She likes it so much that she calls it My Village on her list.
I always switch the names.
There's another version. There's another game that's very similar. That's My Village
and My Village.
That's dice drafting. We don't like that one as much. They came out by
Stronghold too, I think.
Yes.
Didn't they?
Yes.
So they were trying to confuse me. Just straight up. It was a conspiracy promoted by Stephen Bonacore.
Village. Great game. Great game.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right, that's it.
Wow.
That's it.
You only broke my heart like 8 out of the 10, but cool. Okay, all right. Cool.
Let's take a sneak peek next time. We're going to do my 90 to 81. Let's see what we got here.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Am I going to get
5 more new games?
Nice. Okay.
So another halvesies, half new, half old.
I like that.
And one game that was not in my top 100. I mentioned this in my.
Oh, this is the one that's made the big leap into.
That re-emerged in my top 100. It was off my top 100 last year, but it's back.
That's kind of exciting.
That's it, folks. That's it for this time. We're going to get out of here, but we'll see you soon.
Bye. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little bell below.